Hey guys, it's Queen CJ, and today I'm going to be talking about my first experience really using a planner. Obviously, when I was in high school and stuff, I had planners, but I could never really stick to like making sure I was writing everything down and like double checking it at the end of the day or throughout the day and whatever. So it was just never something that really worked for me, that really like stuck for me. Once I moved here, one of my goals was to kind of get a little bit more organized. So back in October, I decided I was going to start planning and just have somewhere where I could write down when I was working, what kind of chores I needed to get done the next day, YouTube stuff, just so I could really get my life organized and on track. And I started looking around YouTube because that's pretty much the first place I go for anything, to figure out different methods for making sure that you stick to it and different methods to be a little creative with it. And I thought that bullet journaling looked really cool and very aesthetically pleasing and nice. Unfortunately, that just didn't really work for me. I tried it kind of, but it just didn't work for me. I just really needed somewhere, again, where I could write down my schedule and what I needed to do. And I also just figured out kind of as I was doing it that it wasn't something that I was gonna want to sit down and spend a ton of time on. And I just wanted something where I could jot things down and just have a quick look inside to see like what my day was shaping up to be like, what my month was shaping up to be like, make sure I didn't forget any important dates or anything. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to you about my first planner experience. So this is it. Again, I was originally going to do a bullet journal, so it is not a planner, it's just a regular like lined notebook here, as you can see, and on the front it just says start something wonderful. It's pretty basic. It's from Target, but I like the color, I liked the gold lettering, and I really liked the size of it. So that was that. So the first page I have an index, which I have, as you can see, stopped using. It just, again, like I just want something where I could very quickly and easily write things down, and this was just, the index was just something that took too much planning and forethought, and I only left a page for it, which wouldn't have been enough anyway, so I just let that go pretty quickly. So I have this guide on the second page, which again is something that I kind of let go. I have just stuff for like holidays, birthdays, just color-coded things, and just again with trying to save myself some time and energy on this, I kind of stopped doing. And then here I have the 6-month outlook, which I haven't used very much. I have some notes here that aren't even accurate anymore, but it is, I guess, kind of nice to just look on here. On this next page I have October, so I have movies, books. Unfortunately I didn't get through anything, and as you'll see later, this kind of stopped because I just wasn't filling it up enough. It wasn't something that I really felt like I needed to keep track of. And then I have my October outlook, and this worked well. I have my little like month goals in the corner here, which is great. And then definitely like some things. At this point I don't really use the month outlook as much. I'd rather just have it on the days. I can flip through the pages to the days. But it's definitely good. I still like do the month outlook, I just don't use it quite as much as I did for that. I also started in the beginning doing basically a page a day like this. So I had like this 12-hour outline, which I did kind of like because I'm a pretty visual person, so just being able to like see how my day was going to go down even if I didn't have a lot specifically planned was really nice. However, again, just in terms of making this last and making things go quickly, after a couple months I stopped doing the day-to-day. But then over here I had a to-do list, which is pretty long. Something that worked really well for me, for the first couple months anyway, was just having a to-do list of things that I needed to do in the next couple days, in the next week, and then if I didn't finish something on one day, I just moved it over to the next day's to-do list, and that's part of the reason why they're so long. Obviously you can see here I only got one thing checked off on my to-do list there. So I pretty much just moved everything onto the next day, which is kind of ridiculous, but it did actually work out pretty well for me. Down here I have my water intake. I was really trying to get like 8 glasses a day, so that was really nice to kind of keep track of that for a while. However, I don't do it anymore. Check if I took my multivitamin. I'm pretty good about that, so that just seemed kind of pointless after a while to mark down because I was just doing it every day anyway. And then I just kind of passed this place for other notes. So on that day I needed to do some paperwork, and my job was going to pay me for it, so I needed to keep track of how much time I was taking on that. And then I have like a little shopping list down here as well. So then we go on to November. This page I used for my 25 Facts About Me video. I just had like how it's all written down. Definitely for a while this was just kind of like a catch-all for anything I needed to jot down. Then we have the November outlook. Again, like you can see, even like I used this like less than I used October's. But it's still good for like birthdays and stuff on there. And then for November I also did this day to day, pretty much the same thing. I also started trying to jot down what I bought today. This is kind of when I started trying to consciously budget. So we had that. That I just, again, it was just like too much. I still don't check this every day, and I probably should, but I generally know what's going on. It's just good to have it written down so that I know for sure if I need to double check anything, or if I just have a lot to do and need to like write it down somewhere just to get myself organized. Move on to December. I have this fancy little tape here. I also used these stickers, which once again was just something, they just took a lot longer than just writing down the numbers. So even though it looks nice, it just didn't really work for me just because my planner is so much just I need somewhere to write stuff down. And if you have time to like decorate and make it nice, that is amazing. I love looking at pictures of like really beautiful planners. It's just not something that works for me. On this page I did again movies, books, TV shows, and music. And then back to this page. If you'll see, I have a lot of dots here. So that was just kind of a fun idea to utilize the month outlook without having to like write things down a lot. So I just color coded the dots. So like pink dots were days that I was working, I believe. I think like blue dots were like days I needed to do YouTube related stuff. So then in December I started just doing like a third of the page per day. I don't split the bottom one for like Saturday, Sunday. I just have it keep going. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For me, this just works. My weekends are often just as busy as my weekdays because sometimes I work on weekends and stuff. So sometimes I need to film a video, so I just didn't want to like split up the small one and not have enough space for everything that I needed on the weekend. And honestly, for me, like weeks just kind of blend one into the other, so I wasn't too concerned about having a whole week on a page. So then I also stopped kind of using any colors. It's pretty much just black pen from here on out, which isn't nice, but I was able to it works really well for me to be able to just list everything I need to do. So this was the day I moved into my new apartment, so I put move and I needed to go grocery shopping. The next day I had work and I had to edit and upload a video. I also attempted to go back to color coding here, and basically I just outlined everything. So I had like blue, again for YouTube stuff, red was like my meal plan because I was trying to meal plan. Purple was like social life stuff if I was meeting up with people or whatever. So we have January. I've got just some random notes here. The outlook, again, you can kind of see where I attempted to use the dot format again, but it just didn't really work out. And this is all the same, again, trying to use the color coding, but that quickly drops off. I also have this goals page that I just added in here. Again, this is kind of random, so I still kind of use it for anything, but I also have a couple other notebooks that I use now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this kind of gave you some ideas maybe, or helped you, or I don't know, that you enjoyed it in some way. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.